I am so nervous. Okay, let's try that again. I am so nervous, and there, that feels better. Getting it out a little bit louder, speaking a little bit louder is really helping. I have been way too quiet all day, and I've noticed if I don't really start talking and moving and grooving and telling a story by like 1 in the afternoon, then I tend to get really quiet the entire day. It's like I feel like a bird that hasn't sung, and it's like, why have I not been singing? Is there a predator around? And the predator in this case might be a swooping bird of anxiety, because I'm so nervous. In less than 24 hours, we are going to be walking out the front door and we are going to be leaving our home for the rest of the year. That's kind of a big thought. So I'm not nervous about the traveling, I'm not nervous about the adventure, I'm not even nervous about leaving the channel for that long, because I won't be. It'll only be a week while I'm in Missouri, and then I will have an entire office I am being allowed to use, not in a house, but like an actual office set up at a office building that I'm being offered to go work in, which I'm so grateful for. So I'll be able to still tell stories and communicate, and I might even have some private moments to be able to set up for vlogging if I have not been able to vlog in North Carolina by then. But oh yeah, this morning has been kind of a fast and slow one because I am such an anxious traveler, because it's such a break in my routines. So really quickly, I'm going to tell you guys how I have finally in the last 3 months stopped that anxiety and that stress in its tracks, and if not gotten rid of it, been able to be like, hey, I recognize you, and we've got a plan prepared to deal with you. Because leaving my routines, I'm very routine based. I like to do the same things more or less every day with some variation, you know, but I like to do the same things every day. I love being in familiar places. I try to encourage myself to adventure beyond those boundaries for my own growth. But especially when you have a really good routine, like I'm getting so fit, you can't tell because you only see from like here up on the camera, but like my legs, my hips, my calves from biking, and I'm leaving my biking and my Animal Crossing biking for a month. So to leave the routines that I know are healthy for me, they're working for me, they're giving me growth in the right directions, and to walk away from them for a whole month is not something that I am excited about, but I am excited about the adventure. And it used to be that my anxiety of leaving those routines would be so intense that 2 days before we would leave, I wouldn't be able to focus on anything. I would be almost sick to my stomach, and poor Chips would be... Was he saying bye? Okay, he wasn't. But poor Chips would be thinking like, oh my gosh, like she doesn't want to go on this trip. And I did want to go on the trip. It's my house. It's my birds, it's my plants, which don't always, the plant part doesn't always make it through my birdie babysitter's attention either. That doesn't stress me out as much as just like, I have all my stuff here. You know what I mean? I love my home, and it's an important and beautiful thing to love my home. So how do I leave it so often without completely freaking out? The answer is I now have a checklist, and that will make everybody who knows me laugh because I have list upon list upon list, but I use my Evernote, which is the system that I have designed all of my systems within, and it works great for me, and I'll talk about it next year when I break apart how I have used systems and intentional focus to transform my life in the last 3 months especially. But I have an Evernote now that I developed 2 trips to North Carolina ago, which was 2 months ago. We've been having a good time traveling. It's been wonderful every time. But this is addressing the anxiety of before we travel. But I realized that I was so anxious because I was worried I was going to forget something important. I was going to forget to do something important for the house. I was going to get in trouble for not paying a bill. I was going to forget something that was critically important. Oh my gosh, my channel is going to burn to the ground because I forgot the thing. Or I was going to forget my ID. I was going to get like arrested at the airport because I forgot my ID. And I was not going to be able to travel with Chips. I wasn't going to have any money in the bank. And I wouldn't have made sure there was enough for the traveling, and we're gonna end up on the side of the road. And you can see where, for those of you who have Also, generalized anxiety disorder. You're familiar with that line of thought. Welcome to the inside of my head. It's not always a happy, peaceful place, but I intentionally cultivate it to try to be so. So I do have anxiety. I always think I have. I remember being in kindergarten and like the therapist that my mom took me to looked at her and was like, "This is the most anxious child I have seen in all my years of practice." That's not something you should say in front of a kid, by the way, because I heard that and I was like, oh, there's something wrong with me. But all these years later, I have developed systems to deal with this. And so I have a checklist of things that I know I want to have with me when I travel. I have a checklist that is meticulous and detailed, and it actually gives me a lot of comfort. So it will be so detailed. I have it in a notebook called Household References. So in my Evernotes, I have a notebook called Household for like household references, like household responsibilities or notes on how to take care of things in the house. Like for instance, notes on how to take care of what kind of filter size we have for our air filters and things like that. Instead of having to check every time or instead of having to remember it, I have a notebook dedicated to household maintenance. And I put travel preparation under that. So I have a notebook for household maintenance and inside travel. And inside travel, I have my pre-travel checklist that has I've broken it down into a checklist of things to do in the days leading up to the traveling, making sure I have someone to watch the birds, making sure we put our mail on hold, making sure we take out the recycling and the trash. On the day of traveling, making sure we have our ID, making sure we have checked in to the airport, making sure we have transportation to the airport, making sure we have money in the bank on our cards and a little bit of like a 20 or something if we have a 20 to cover any unexpected expenses. And then I also have a packing. The packing, I think, is where I really defeat the anxiety beast the most. And it is as detailed as saying toothbrush, toothpaste, flossy things, like individual items, brush, you know, jewelry, because I love wearing different jewelry. It'll break it down to like my tablet charger, my tablet pen. And that may seem really weird and meticulous to some people, but it is so soothing because then there's no stone left unturned. I have that. I'm not going to think about it every single time we travel anymore. Like, what do I have to pack? If there's something extra and special, I can add it to the section that says at a minimum for current travel at the bottom of the list. But otherwise, I just focus on a meticulous list that I made months ago that I know I can rely on for all trips. It actually, I even calculated how many shirts and different items of clothing I would need to be bringing based on how many days I was going to be traveling, divided by the place that we would be staying and if we had access to the ability to do our laundry or not. When I say meticulous, I mean meticulous, and the reason is because it takes away the anxiety and gets me ready for adventure, and I will do anything for that. So if you also struggle with anxiety, and I know I think everybody does to some degree, I personally think organizing and preparation and being able to create a system, because that list is a system. It's not something I write the night before. It's not something I write every single time we travel. It is something that is prepared and it is stored in a safe place, a secure digital backup. Evernote is backed up onto the cloud. And it's on like you can have the app, you can have it on your computers, you can have it on your phone. I have it on my tablet, on my phone, and on my computers. So no matter what device I have, I can check my checklist and know that it's going to be okay. And it has really taken away so much of my anxiety. So this morning I woke up kind of anxious. I didn't go to bed till 3 in the morning, despite I turned off the lights and laid in bed from 10 p.m. until 3, not able to fall asleep because I was so anxious. And thankfully Chips was there playing Smash, so I just babbled at him. So I wasn't just like stewing in my anxiety for hours. I was also just like, what do you think we should name all of our guinea pigs? What do you think we should dress our guinea pigs up as? But it was actually like to cover up how nervous I was. And he was very patient and understood. But yeah, I feel better. And getting that out there and explaining and starting to talk and not just keeping my voice locked up has also helped me calm down. So thank you guys. So yeah, we're traveling. Those are my tips for how to deal with the anxiety of traveling. And I have checklists to make sure that my home is going to be taken care of. I'm going to be changing the bird's cage. I'm going to be changing the gecko's tank. I'm going to be refilling all the water on all the things. And I'm going to be getting ready to head out on an adventure. And I don't have to worry about it because I can rely on my systems. I can rely on my list. If it's not on the list, I can go ahead and put it down on my thought collection list. And then analyze if that is actually something I need to do today. But I'll talk about systems more later. For now, let's go ahead, let the magic begin, because I have some amazing things to show you guys, and then I have got to get ready to go. And also, if you think I look familiar wearing this outfit, FYI, I have to take 2 laptops because I'm giving my father my old laptop since his died, and I haven't touched my old laptop in quite a while since I got Lilypad the laptop. So you might be seeing me in the same shirt and peapod earrings over and over and over again, because it turns out when you put 2 laptops and all of my recording gear and my Switch and everything else inside of a carry-on bag, you've run out of room. So yeah, just be ready for that. Okay, so let's do this. Let the magic begin with the 14th sticker in our sticky advent calendar. I can't believe that. This sticker is now going to be transferred into my new joy journal, which I will show you guys in just a little bit here. I have a lot of recording to do today of vlog stuff, so I have a lot to show you, and you may actually see snippets of this office still, because I don't think I can show you everything that I want to before we leave. So expect maybe some short snippets of like, hello time bubble friends, we have time traveled back to before I left on my trip so that I can show you this thing that I got, because some very cool things came in today that I think you guys would enjoy. But today, the 14th day of Vlogmas, we have are those more of the stickers that I love so much? Oh my gosh, they are. Look at that. Oh, that makes me excited for some adventures. Look at this whale. Oh my gosh. It is more of these amazing stickers, and now it's ocean themed. I love these. They even have a blobfish, and that whale is hilarious. I love him. Oh, if only I knew what this design was. If you guys know, let me know, because I would buy so many of these. They bring me so much joy. They even have that weird lanternfish that has its eyeballs that you can see. Like, it has the sensories that look like eyeballs. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This has me excited. Okay, all right, let's get ready for some adventure. Ossie Jr., you are being so rude right now. Do you guys see him? Oh, of course it won't focus on through the bars, but do you guys see him? He is sitting sideways, blocking their seed so that all his sisters, all 3 sisters, are over here eating their Zupreme, which they always will only go after if they can't get to the original food. But look at that little brat. He is just like sitting sideways, guarding the food. You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have to add in a second food dish. None of that naughty behavior, you goose. Look at this amazing orange tofu dinner that Chip's made so that we can go ahead and use up so many of our carrots and our green peppers. This is fantastic. This is the fuel that I need to continue on with the master schedule and try to fill in as much of it as possible before we leave. But all of these pink things are already done. I have a ton of other stuff that's not even on here that I might be able to do, and I just have to last from here to there. So about 1 week before I will actually have access to a private place that I can do some recording. Who knows what will happen? So there's hope that the final half of the month of December, the most important month possible if you are a YouTuber, for ad revenue that you have to live off of until April. It's really hard, guys. Hopefully I can make some magic happen there so that then we can ride through January, February, March, and into April without stress, with tons of Sims, which never makes a lot of money, so I can just spend time playing with the games that I really like in these months, which I love all the games, but I would love to do like even a spurt of daily zoo crafting to celebrate it coming back. I would love to do all sorts of live streaming in these months because I really won't be getting anything until I make it to about May, and then we might start seeing some recovery. So hopefully, instead of stressing like I used to in the past, these 3 to 4 months will actually turn into a wonderful time of working on smaller projects, of working on streams, of building our community, and of having time to start sprinkling some of the roleplay series that create long-lasting community members in here, like Warrior Cats and our Dog Quest. And then we can build up to some really big events with those as we move into the summer months. So I'm looking forward to streaming a lot, and I just hope I can make some magic happen right about there so that we'll be able to do tons of Sims and streaming for Q1 as it's known. Back to food and then back to work. This looks so good. Oh, look, we both are glowing little angels. That is so cute. I'm just playing some Pocket Camp in between a whole bunch of editing. This is the point where my computer just has to do a ton of the processing behind the scenes. But I just finished a record number of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, which is so fun. I actually have some cute little merchandise that I need to show you guys that I got from a really cool Etsy creator about Eevee. In fact, do I have any of the other Eevee icons hanging around here? I don't see them yet, but I'll show you guys that soon. But I just have to say, for the record, yeah, wow. Being able to just immerse myself in the games, it's bringing out roleplay and storytelling I have not felt in years since before I started publicly sharing what I create. Instead of having to think, what are people going to think about this? What do I have to do next? I just give myself all the time I need or want to be in the story, and I don't question it. I just go with my natural flow, and I'm sure that's not going to be for everybody. But I'm so happy. I have never felt so attached to Pokemon before. I have never fallen in love with their stories as much as I'm falling in love with the stories in the ones that we have in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And I'm having such a great time. I recorded 11 episodes in one sitting because I was having so much fun, and I cannot remember the last time I've just been able to let go and enjoy creating like that, or like how I did in Star Stable, in so long. And I'm really hoping if I can get into the pattern of doing that with these games, I can start getting into the pattern of doing that with my Sims. I can start getting into the pattern of doing that with zoo crafting again. And I don't think it's going to be for everybody, so that's the scary part. But I do know that I feel like I'm coming back to my natural balance as a storyteller and where I'm happy to be. I'm not thinking about the analytics, I'm not thinking about the details, I'm not stressing about the views, because all of that external stuff is somewhere else right now. And I'm just focusing on the story for the story's sake, and it's just enchanting me all over again. You guys, I am so excited. It is part of my favorite activity for the month, sorting out the Patreon postcards and all of the Patreon perks. And you guys are kind of getting the behind the scenes of this, but these are all the Patreon postcards that are going out. This is for November and December because we are upping the style of art, and we're upping what actually goes out as well. So for November, we have the absolutely beautiful postcard of Rosestone racing through the sunflowers. It looks glossy, but it's so soft. I really love it. They really are more like collectibles now. My little heart is pounding working on these, and wait till you guys see the tweaked Sims Medieval one for January. Holy cow, and the stuff that's coming to go out with the Sims Medieval. I am so excited. But we have this one for the month of November. And we are also sending out some really cute little fruit stickers because Thistledown always collects berries. And so I thought, how fun would it be if you get little fruit stickers to go along with that too? So that's going to be going out in the Patreon postcards in the November bunch. Anybody, because November is late, anybody who has November and December gets it all at once. But we've got that, and then as a backup, I've also got more fruit stickers. I actually special ordered these from Japan off Etsy. honestly trying to make sure I could find really unique, fun little things to kind of sneak peek into sneak into these, because the flying squirrels really make up a big backbone of our ability to do things on the Patreon, and I'm so grateful to them. So I'm trying to include more things when the budget allows, and so I have got this together. We have got the beautiful nicheling tree. Oh, this art is just becoming so good. It just really feels like collectible pieces now, more than postcards, and that makes me so happy. But we have got the gorgeous nicheling tree with the nicheling gods all around. We have got the cookies. I wish I had been able to get like smaller, cuter stickers or like Christmas cookies, but I'm still exploring what kind of manufacturers I can work with. But we're going to send out extra Stay Curious ones. We're going to send out extra cookies. I might even get some of last year's postcards for patrons who may not have had them. We're going to get that out as well. And then, if we're lucky, we have something that just cleared customs that is arriving from Sweden. When I ordered these special perks, it said they were going to be printed in Pennsylvania. So when I got the message they were being shipped from Sweden, I like freaked out. But if we're really lucky, they're coming by tomorrow, the end of the day. And if that actually happens, we're going to have something amazing to put in as a big thank you for our flying squirrels and our wildlife patrons, and as part of future packs, because I do have a few postcards left over, and because they're starting to get so fancy and like little thematic sets, I'm thinking if the patrons are okay with it, maybe selling some of the extras on my Etsy, just so that we can continue to build up the reservoirs to start being able to make wildlife pens and to make more stickers, to be able to really expand and experiment with what we can do, and also to build a bit of a buffer for the upcoming Q1, which is always so hard on my revenue. Oh, that's okay. Chips and I can eat beans. We're good at it. We're vegan. Oh, and for the curious, I'm still processing the Pokemon that I recorded today. Yeah, so this isn't really multitasking because the computer does the work for me while I am busy with my hands, but I am processing dozen-plus episodes of Pokemon right now, and also continuing on my exodus through PhD Simmer's wonderful Gen 3. I haven't even seen her Gen 1 or 2 yet for her Not So Very challenge. I just jumped in at Gen 3 to try it out. I'm so in love with her stuff. I'm having a good time, but definitely still working. They're finally done. The very last of the sticky flakes have been sorted into little piles, all while I continue to wait for my videos to still finish processing. But this was fun, and I have some favorites, some little bugs. I found 4 more Mongolian finches. We've got our little giraffe, the little green pufferfish that I love so much, and of course those shaman stickers, which I am completely in love with. And yes, they're not actually shaman, but holy cow, I love them. But yeah, I sorted those. That was really weirdly relaxing, and now I need to see just how many sticky flakes I had all together now that I have tossed out the terrifying baby heads. Also, the edits continue on my thumbnails, but oh my gosh, I thought he was kind of weird, and I was a little creeped out when I found the Pokefans in the dark tunnel at first. But now that I'm staring at his design again, I'm kind of in love with it. I can't believe I like them so much, but I think I actually am now a fan of the Pokefan.